Or let's unpack this then. Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at a really interesting set of sources. They're anchored by this one document with a title that, well, definitely makes you stop and think. You.have.to, have.adream.pdf.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the content of that PDF itself. Our sources also show how the creators invite you to connect more deeply. Things like exclusive content and book giveaways. And also a weekly newsletter.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is that these aren't just like add-ons or simple marketing. They give us a kind of strategic window into how learners, people like you listening, are encouraged to go beyond just one piece of information. So our mission really in this deep dive is to explore what value these pathways for engagement actually offer. What do they tell us about sort of the journey of discovery today and how creators are building these, well, almost like ongoing communities around ideas?
Okay, so let's start right there with the core of it, that document title. You, have.to, have.adream.pdf. Just the title alone, it's like a tiny piece of insight, isn't it? It seems to immediately push against a pretty common idea in society. What do you think the main message is there?
That's a really good point. The title itself, yeah, it's just the documents pushing back, maybe subtly, against that whole, hustle culture thing. That idea that you have to have some huge, all-consuming dream to be successful or even just fulfilled. It seems to offer this maybe surprising alternative view, like maybe a more step-by-step, present-focused way of living could be just as good, maybe even better sometimes, less burnout perhaps. It definitely connects with people who feel, a bit overwhelmed by that constant pressure for one big goal.
Yeah, that makes it feel really relevant straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then right alongside that message, you get these offers, exclusive content and book giveaways. It feels like more than just reading something. It's an immediate, invitation to something a bit special. How do these initial perks actually work on us beyond just, getting free things?
Well, the real insight, I think, is how things like exclusive content or giveaways tap into psychological ideas, things like scarcity and maybe social proof, too.
Okay.
It's not just a bonus. It kind of creates this feeling that it's more valuable because, well, maybe not everyone gets it. It fosters that desire to be sort of part of an inner circle, which is honestly much more powerful than just consuming information passively. It's like an instant, tangible reward that hints, there's even more value if you engage more.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. But okay, beyond that initial hook, that giveaway, the document also pushes you towards something more regular. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter. Now, that feels like a different level of commitment, right? More ongoing connection.
Mm-hmm.
What's the strategy there for the creator, and what does it really mean for you, the learner, in the longer term?
Right. A weekly newsletter, it fundamentally changes the dynamic. It moves from a one-off interaction to more like recurring authority building. Think of it like a direct line, It gets around the crowded, messy social media feeds and algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
So strategically, it lets creators really own that relationship with their audience. Direct communication, no middleman platform controlling things.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, the learner, it can mean a much more curated flow of information, less noise, more useful stuff, hopefully. It's almost like having an expert filter things for you, regularly delivering what's actually relevant to your interests. It sets up a kind of consistent rhythm for learning.
I'm just thinking about my own inbox, though, which is, overflowing. We all get so many newsletters. What's the trick, do you think, to making this newsletter, or really any newsletter, feel like something you actually want to open, not just another email you ignore?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? The line between adding value and just adding noise is really thin. The creators who get it right, they understand it's about the quality of that interaction, not just the frequency. A good newsletter delivers something genuinely useful, maybe fresh takes, actionable tips, or truly exclusive stuff you can't get elsewhere. And it does it in a way that's easy to digest. It needs to be consistent, sure, but also respect your time. Every email should feel like it has a real purpose.
And they've obviously thought about making it easy to get onto these tracks. The source specifically says, scan the QR code or visit penguin.com.au, sign up. That kind of frictionless access, it just seems essential now, doesn't it? Like table stakes.
Oh, absolutely. And it's more than just convenience. It's really about reducing what psychologists call cognitive load, and overcoming decision fatigue. We face so many choices all day.
Head.
In a world just flooded with information, even one extra click, one small hurdle can stop someone from following through. So by making engagement instant, scan a QR code, click a direct link, they get past that potential hesitation, that procrastination moment.
Oh, okay.
They're basically turning a flicker of interest into potentially sustained involvement with almost zero effort required from you. You go from passive reader to active participant just like that. Scan, click, done.
Okay, so if we sort of pull all these different threads together now, we've got the document itself with its thought-provoking idea,
Yeah.
then the immediate draw of exclusive stuff, the longer-term connection through the newsletter, and finally this super easy way to sign up. What does this whole layered approach tell us about how we learn and discover things now? What's the bigger picture?
Yeah, zooming out a bit, what we've sort of unpacked today really shows that even these small things, a title, a subscribe button, they're actually invitations. Invitations into a much larger world of ideas and connection. It really highlights how content creators are actively, building communities around their ideas. They're offering much more than just a single article or a one-time read. And this change allows for iterative learning.
Hmm.
You revisit ideas, you build on what you learned before, you engage with new perspectives as they come out. It's a bit more like, say, a university course that unfolds over a semester, rather than just one single lecture you attend and forget.
And this is where it gets really interesting and, frankly, useful for you listening. Understanding how these pathways work, whether it's the lure of exclusive content or book giveaways, or that weekly newsletter you can get via QR code at that link, penguin.com.au or sign up. Understanding this means you're actually empowered. You get to decide consciously how deep you want to go, how consistently you want to engage with topics that really click with you.
Which brings us to, I think, a really important question to ponder. Given that we have these accessible, ongoing ways to get information now, how might our own personal journeys, our learning and discovery actually change? How might they evolve when we're invited not just to consume content in isolation, but to be part of a continuous conversation, cultivating that knowledge over time?